all of the Culture Camp stuff, I really enjoyed doing these live streams. So I'm going to start trying to do a check-in every Friday, and I'm going to base it on the kind of elements of the Brilliant Club. So for those of you that don't know, the Brilliant Club is our really accessible membership, and we have online and offline options. And part of the Brilliant Club is around creating spaces to process the emotional impact of the work that we're doing. It's also about promoting each other and giving an opportunity to really highlight and celebrate our work. And it's about reflecting on how we can develop ourselves, our personal, professional selves, and also our work, and supporting each other to do that. So these Friday check-ins are going to be structured around those elements. So process, promote, share ideas, and reflect. So the thing that I'm kind of processing from the work this week is that everybody that I've spoken to is running at top speed. So everybody feels busy. Everybody feels like they're playing Jenga with their diaries, and me too, and there's so much excitement and goodwill and ideas about projects and ways of making a difference. And I think part of this kind of busyness in the voluntary sector, in charities, comes from the desire to do, or the, maybe not the desire to do more, it's the insight to see the opportunities where more could be done. And I get really excited about that kind of work. I love potential. I love making new things happen. But the shadow side of that is making too many new things happen. So I guess what I'm trying to process this week is just the impact of that kind of way of working, and how that affects me, how that affects the people that I coach and the teams that I support. And maybe just creating a little bit of thinking space to try and see if there's other ways of working that could be adopted and could emerge. One little light bulb moment that I had in the car with the kids the other day was actually when I look at my diary, I see the whole week on my online calendar, and there's an option to hide some of the days. So for ages, I've had a big blue block on Mondays and Fridays to try and keep some admin time, or some time to do stuff that's not kind of face-to-face, or not holding spaces for other people. And that's not really worked. Those big blue blocks just get eaten up. So actually, there's an option to hide those whole days. So maybe there's something in that, and I'm trying not to make any big rash decisions around how I'm working, but I think just processing the reality that we're all facing at the moment, that it's really busy, there's a lot to do, and we want to do a lot, and just how that lands with us all. So no final kind of answers or solutions there, but just a bit of something that I think lots of us are processing at the moment. Thinking about promoting. So we've got some really cool stuff happening with Brilliant Thing. And one of the really exciting things is an event called Food for Good. We're hoping to make this a bit of a series. We've got a kind of wellbeing for good and pints for good things coming up in the new year. But the Food for Good is really about social enterprise, and it's about getting people's good ideas and good ventures off the ground by inspiring them through other people's stories. So and sharing some nice food along the way. And lots of the kind of inspirational speakers that we've gathered for this event have a connection to food, or to bringing people together, or to making a difference in a new way. So we've got a fab collaboration at the moment with a hospitality business in Bury called Kozalia, and we're holding this event at one of their venues. If there's any Bury people listening, it's the cafe at Killaleah House in Brandlesholme. So it's on the 23rd of November, and I just love the idea of bringing together exciting people, interesting ideas, creating those lovely supportive environments. We've got Camarados coming, so there's going to be a public living room. Some good food. We've got there's a local business who does amazing cakes, and they're gonna provide some cakes for the event. So creating those spaces where collaborations can happen. We're not trying to force those collaborations or push them or manage them. It's just about creating those spaces for those things to naturally grow and develop. So I'm really excited about that. And we've got some fab organisations involved and coming as speakers and supporting the event. So yeah, if you have a look on our page, if you're interested in that event, and it's free as well. So sharing ideas. So a couple of the projects that I have been around or working on at the moment. So one of them is with the Ideas Alliance up in Calderdale, and it's about creating networks, kind of peer support networks or networks of people doing good stuff or wanting to get involved in things across the place. It's connected to the Family Hubs work, if anybody's involved in that public sector piece of work. And so this idea of creating these networks has kind of followed me around in lots of jobs and lots of ways. And I love the idea of creating the support around people to work together as a network and kind of all pull in the same direction. So thinking about developing a course around developing skills or kind of gathering to work on how we're going to be together, how we're going to network with each other is something that I'm thinking about quite a bit. And then I'm also this afternoon doing the first session, which is a collaboration with Maverick Lab in Rochdale. And we're doing some sessions around inclusive leadership. And the idea of the sessions is to give leaders in the voluntary sector, and that's leaders at all levels, so community leaders, people that are leading teams, people that have ideas that they want to lead with to change things. And it's about creating anti-racist practice within leadership. And so this idea of leadership skills and in a non-hierarchical kind of way, so leadership rather than leaders, I guess, and networking, those two ideas, kind of inclusive leadership and networked practice, are things that I feel like there's a connection between those two things. And I often talk about host leadership, which is another thing, you can Google it, it's cool. So yeah, I guess I'm sharing that those two ideas are coming up for me, and I think there's loads of opportunity around them, and I think there's some real narrative to be created, articulated, designed, said, around what that is and what that means, and how we all flex our opportunities to both be inclusive and create these kind of networked opportunities. So again, no fully formed ideas there, but they're emerging, and I wanted to share those ideas. So the final part of the kind of Friday check-in is about reflection and how I'm kind of bringing reflection into my weekends. So some of you might know with the some of the membership options for the Brilliant Club, we have a reflective practice circle. So one of those is an online one, and one of those is an in-person one. So the in-person one particularly, I'm kind of reflecting on how we might hold that circle this weekend. So part of that includes visiting the venue. We've got this gorgeous venue in Edenfield in Rochdale. And I'm going to go to the venue and just kind of be in the space. I've also got a couple of chats booked with some people that have really helped me design the Brilliant Club membership offer and create something that's really enriching and fulfilling for charity, people that work in the charity sector, people that work in public sectors, purpose-led people, but also really practical, because going back to that like busyness thing, these spaces have to give us something, have to be enriching without necessarily being productive. So the reflective practice circles are not about project management, project coordination, project initiation. They're about enriching and replenishing the people doing the work, the supporting the supporters idea that I've talked about lots in my work. So yeah, I'm reflecting by physically being in the spaces where I want to gather people. Yeah, so it's been lovely doing one of these Friday check-ins, and I can't guarantee they'll be at the same time every Friday, but I'm gonna try and do this every Friday. It'd be great if anyone's got any thoughts, any ideas for me, anything they want to share, anything that they want to promote, anything that they're kind of processing this week, and maybe that kind of idea around busyness is something that really connects to you as well. So thanks, folks. Lovely to go live again. And if not before, I will see you next week. Bye for now.